60%. Just let that number sink in for a second. 60%. What in the world could that mean? You know, in workplace safety, a number that big usually points to some huge, obvious danger. But this one's different. It's a quiet tragedy, and it happens in the most unexpected way. Let's figure out what's behind this number together.
All right, so today we are diving deep into one of the most dangerous and honestly most misunderstood places you can find in any industry, the confined space. We're going to peel back the layers on all the hidden dangers, the silent threats, and most importantly, the rules that absolutely can and do save lives. So let's kick things off with a bit of a mystery. It's this tragic pattern that just keeps repeating itself over and over again. They call it the rescuer's trap, and it is the absolute key to understanding that number we started with. And there it is. That's the answer. A staggering 60% of the people who die in confined spaces aren't the first workers who got into trouble. No, they are the rescuers, their colleagues, their friends, people who see someone in danger and, with the best intentions in the world, rush in to help, completely unprepared. Their heroism, as heartbreaking as it is to say, is what turns them into a statistic. Okay, so to stop this from happening, we have to really get to the root of the problem. What even is a confined space? Well, the first thing you've got to get out of your head is that the name is a little misleading. It has almost nothing to do with how small or cramped a space is. The official definition sounds kind of technical, but it really just boils down to three simple questions. Number one, is it hard to get in and out of? Number two, was it designed for people to hang out in for long periods? And number three, is it big enough for a person to actually get inside and work? If you answer yes to all three, boom, you've got a confined space. And once you know that definition, you start seeing them, well, everywhere. We're talking about those gigantic silos on a farm, huge tanks in a factory, the manholes under our city streets, even a simple trench on a construction site once it gets deeper than about 4 feet. The danger is so often hiding in plain sight. So what makes these places so incredibly deadly? Well, the biggest threats are the ones you'd never notice. They're totally invisible, you can't see them, you can't smell them, and you can't hear them coming. Your own senses are basically useless here. They can't protect you. Just take oxygen, for example. We all think, oxygen is good, we need it to live, right? But in a confined space, it's a double-edged sword. If that oxygen level dips just a little, below 19.5%, your brain gets starved, you get confused, and then you collapse. But, and this is the crazy part, if it goes up over 23.5%, the air itself becomes explosive. A single spark and the whole thing could go up in a fireball.
And then you've got the poisons in the air, the silent assassins. We all know about carbon monoxide, right? You can't see it or smell it. But hydrogen sulfide? Oh, it's even more devious. At first, it has that classic rotten egg smell. But at deadly levels, it instantly kills your sense of smell. So you think the gas is gone, that the danger is past, when really, it's just delivered the final blow. So sneaky.
And of course, as if all that invisible stuff wasn't enough, you've still got the hazards you can see. Things like the space collapsing on you, getting engulfed by grain or liquid, electrocution from a hidden wire, or just being overcome by intense heat. All of those dangers can be there at the exact same time. Okay, so you're facing all these potential threats. How in the world do you stay alive? Well, I can tell you it's not about being brave or getting lucky. It's about having a solid process. There is a 5-step survival checklist that is absolutely non-negotiable. You follow it every single time, with 0 exceptions. This checklist is your lifeline. Seriously, it all starts with a formal permit to work. Official paperwork. Then, a qualified person has to test the air with a proper meter. Top, middle, and bottom. Next, you isolate everything. Lock out all the pipes, all the power. After that, you get fans going for constant ventilation to keep fresh air moving. And finally, and this is so critical, a standby man is posted right outside. Their only job is to watch you and be your connection to help. No shortcuts. Every step, every single time. Which brings us right back around to the most important rule of all. This is the one that, if everyone followed it, would save the vast majority of that 60%. This is the golden rule for when things go wrong, and you have to understand that your natural emotional instinct to rush in and help is actually your worst enemy.
And here it is. This is the most crucial point. You never, ever, ever go in to rescue someone unless you are a trained professional with the right gear. And that means a self-contained breathing apparatus, an SCBA.
your own personal tank of clean air. No excuses, no exceptions. Because wanting to be a hero is not a substitute for oxygen. And that's how we come full circle. That's the whole story. Following that one single rule is what separates a real rescuer from just becoming another victim. It is the only way to make sure you don't end up as part of that tragic 60%. You know, in the end, it really all boils down to a very simple truth. If you lose money, you can make more. If you break a piece of equipment, you can replace it. But your health, your life, that is your real capital. Once that's gone, it's gone for good. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. The whole reason you go to work every day is to build a life, to provide for your family, for the people you love. So, have you done everything you need to do, followed every single rule to absolutely guarantee you'll make it home to them at the end of the day?